The Phillies have just re-signed Didi Gregorius to a 2-year, what looks to be about $14 million per year. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. It's a $28 million guarantee. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's go ahead and get into this video talking about Didi Gregorius. Now, he was ranked number 3 in the updated free agent rankings on Bleacher Report. So he's a pretty good free agent. They predicted 3 years, $45 million. That didn't happen. But he's still got a pretty good sized contract, only 2 years. And this is a good move for the Phillies, and that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because 68% of you that watch these videos and not subscribe, get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, leave a like, yeah. Alright, so for the Phillies here. They've done most of what they need to do this offseason. Not everything they needed to, obviously. But they've got their top 2 free agents back in JT Realmuto and Didi Gregorius. Now, you still can re-sign maybe a Jake Arrieta or Brandon Workman or a player like that. You still need pitching, like I've said multiple times for the Phillies. But now that you still have your shortstop there is a big move. Does this rule them out of the Trevor Story sweepstakes? You could say yes, and I would agree with that. And he had a very underrated 2020 season with 10 home runs, 40 RBIs, and a 284 batting average. That is a good season. His batting average was a lot lower in 2019 in New York, where he hit 16 home runs, 61 RBIs, and a 238 batting average, which is very interesting because you would figure it would be higher in that little league-sized ballpark that New York is. In 2018, 27 home runs, 86 RBIs, and a 268 average, 287 average, and 25 home runs and 87 RBIs. And here's the thing here. He is a player that does have some injury problems, and that's the big problem there. He can't have a lot of injury problems. But when he's healthy, he can be a very, very good player for your team. And that's the good thing about Didi Gregorius here. So he was a lot better at home in Philadelphia with 7 home runs, 26 RBIs, and a 314 batting average, compared to on the road where he had 3 home runs, 14 RBIs, and a 247 batting average. Yeah, I mean, he did all of his work really pre-All-Star, which, I mean, I guess you could consider all of 2020 was pre-All-Star, so I guess that's what they're considering here. He's a little better versus right-handed pitching from what it looks like with 6 home runs, 28 RBIs, and 318 batting average. And left-handed, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, and a 203 batting average. So he's a little better versus right-handed pitching, but he's still very decent versus both. Let's go and look at his 2019 splits, because I know that we're starting to look at splits more in this video, and more in these videos, and I kind of like that. So yeah, in 2019, a full season, because 2020 is a fluke season, if we're being honest. So in 2019, he was actually better on the road, where he hit 10 home runs, 37 RBIs, and a 273 batting average, compared to at home, where 196 batting average, 6 home runs, and 24 RBIs. That's very, very concerning and confusing there. He, once again, was a little bit better versus right-handed pitching, where he had 10 home runs, 41 RBIs, and a 246 batting average, compared to 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, and a 216 batting average. So he's better versus right-handed pitching. He can hit both, though, which makes Didi Gregorius such a good shortstop. The Phillies here, this is a very good move, and it improves their lineup a lot, to where you have the lineup looking like Andrew McCutchen, Alex Bohm, Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Rhys Hoskins, Didi Gregorius, Gene Segura, and Scott Kingery, most likely for your lineup. And whoever the pitcher is, since they're most likely will not be a universal DH. You still have players like Adam Hazley, Roman Quinn. I mean, even in your farm system, you have some good trade assets in maybe Luis Garcia, Bryson Stott, Mick Amell, Spencer Howard, players like that. Even Mickey Moniak could all be on the trading block, maybe for a player like an Andrew Benintendi, who would fit very well on this team, considering they do need an outfielder. I think he would fit very well on this team. And you look at even Scott Kingery. He was a player that did not hit very well in 2020, but definitely could be a lot better in 2021. I mean, Fangraphs, it has a lot of hope for this team in 2021 as far as hitting. We have 24 home runs for McCutchen, 21 for Bohm, 37 for Harper, Realmuto at 26, 31 for Hoskins, 24 for Gregorius, 15 for Segura, and 18 for Kingery. So his projected stats, which who knows how accurate these will be, but Fangraphs is usually pretty much spot on. 269 batting average, 6 stolen bases, 24 home runs. So that would be a pretty decent little season for Didi Gregorius. They're starting pitching here. It definitely could use some work, and there's a lot of options on the free agent market still. Maybe a Jake Odorizzi, maybe a James Paxton, or maybe you just go with what you had in 2020 and you bring back Jake Arrieta, even though he wasn't very good in 2020. So they've got a lot of options here, and starting pitching is definitely a need. I don't see them going out and getting like a Sonny Gray or Luis Castillo or Kyle Hendricks. Even though it is possible, I don't really see it happening. So if we're looking at starting pitchers right now, maybe you take a chance on Chris Archer. That might be a good option for them. Trevor Bauer's probably not going there, the top pitching free agent. Rick Porcello might be an option. Former Cy Young, he could be an option there. Maybe even a Matt Shoemaker, Anibal Sanchez. Anibal Sanchez, they've been interested in him recently, and he would be a pretty decent option for this team, not going to lie. Trevor Williams, another good option. Maybe even a Mike Leake. So there's a lot of options there. But in the bullpen, they need a ton of help. When Archie Bradley's your bet, no offense to Archie Bradley, but they just do not have any good projections for their bullpen. The lowest ERA is going to be at 3.79. That's not going to do it for this team. And even if they're starting pitching, they don't have – it's just not looking too good. So what can they do as far as relief pitching? They could sign a Ken Giles, Trevor Rosenthal, Brendan Workman. There are a ton of options out here on the free agent market. And there is no excuse for them to say that there's not cheap options, because there is. Justin Wilson, a cheap left-handed option. Brendan Workman, Ken Giles, whoever. There's a lot of cheap options that could be very good for this Phillies team. And Didi Gregorius is a very, very good signing, a signing that I like. But it doesn't put them over the top. They still need to do some more. Matt Moore agreed to him on a 1-year contract. That could be a underrated signing. I think he's coming over from Japan. But you look at still, as competitive as a division of this is, let's be really honest here. Are the Phillies better than the Mets? Are they better than the Nationals? Are they better than the Braves? Are they better than the Marlins? I think they're better than the Marlins. But I don't know that they're better than the Nationals, Mets, or Braves without starting pitching. If they can get some starting pitching, then they are in a very, very good spot as a team. I think you maybe need to get, let's see, 1 or 2 starting pitchers here. And you need to get 2 or 3 relief pitching arms. You traded for Sam Conrad from the Giants and Jose Alvarado from the Rays, which is actually a sneaky, really big move for them. So, and they signed Archie Bradley. So their bullpen's starting to shape around, but they still do need that dominant closer, and I think they probably will get it because there's a lot of relief pitchers still on this market. And yeah, so Phillies signed Didi Gregorius, re-signed Didi Gregorius. This is a pretty big move here. He was one of the top free agents left on this free agent market, and all this shortstops that are worth a crap have really signed now with Marcus Semien, Andrelton Simmons, and Freddie Galvis. So pretty much all of them have signed. And yeah, I mean, the shortstop market's kind of done now. There's not really any big names there. So yeah, that's the end of this video. If I'm giving this signing a grade, I'm going to give it a grade of a B. I don't think it's a bad signing. I think it's an underrated signing and a pretty good signing. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because 68% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. Get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.